Hi guys. So today's live video is going to be a bit different than normal. We're actually going to show you guys some nests that we have here at the West Valley Outdoor Learning Center and some that we have outside. So I'm going to start off inside because it is pretty windy outside today, and I'm going to explain more inside from what we're going to see outside. So first I want to show you guys, let me see, here we go. These nests that we have collected here at the West Valley Outdoor Learning Center. Today is going to be all about nests, different animals' nests, bird nests. We're going to see a squirrel nest later. But these are all ones that have blown out of trees. And if you guys have any questions or anything you want to learn about nests, or anything that you guys see, feel free to pop it in the comments section, and I can get those answered for you. So these are some of our nests, and you can see we've got ones of all different sizes. We've got some big ones back here that are mostly out of clay, and they're pretty hard. And then we've got ones up here that are made out of more straw, and up here got ones that have a lot of almost like cotton in them. And you can see nests can be made out of so many different things. Really anything that is outside can be used for a nest. So twigs and grasses are common for nests, but you can also use things, or birds will use things like string and hair, and trying to see if there's anything in these. Oh, we've got some string, like twine stuff in this one. And you can see that the nests are all different sizes depending on the different bird or animal that's making the nest. So these are going to be a larger bird, and this might be something like a hummingbird. So you can see my hand next to this it's pretty tiny. So now I'm going to go ahead and show you some of the nests we have outside. So like I said, it's really windy outside today. So I'm going to go ahead and tell you what we're going to see, and then I'm going to try and talk about it after we get somewhere that's not quite as windy. So I'm going to walk out, and I'm going to show you we have a squirrel nest outside, and a squirrel nest is actually called a drey, which is something that we just learned here at the OLC. We actually weren't sure what kind of nest this was, and we saw a squirrel that was running along the trees, and it jumped into this nest, and we looked it up, and it's a squirrel nest. And then after the squirrel nest, I'm going to go ahead and show you a bald eagle nest that we made, and you can see just how big some of the nests from eagles can really get. Okay. So I'm going to try, if I lose this feed, I'm going to come back on as another live, just in case something with the Wi-Fi happens, just so you guys know. Okay. And again, I apologize for the wind, but here we go. Oh, here's Nelson. Everyone say hi to Nelson. Okay. So let me see. So our squirrel nest is right there. So it's not super windy right in this spot. So I'm going to try and talk a little bit about the squirrel nests. So squirrels make nests out of mostly twigs, and it kind of looks like a big ball of sticks and leaves, and it's really camouflaged well because squirrels want to stay safe. A lot of things try and eat squirrels. So they want to make a nest that's going to keep them safe and protected. Now we're going to move on to the bald eagle nest. There's Alberta. Say hi, Alberta. Okay, so this is our bald eagle nest. I'll get a different angle here for you guys. So we made this bald eagle nest. It's not a real eagle nest, but it is the size of a real bald eagle nest. Bald eagle nests can get up to 8 feet wide, which is huge. There's a couple other large birds that make really big nests like this out of sticks and branches. So for a bald eagle, you would normally have your breeding pair, so a male and a female, and their babies, and they're going to come to the same nest every year. So every year, since they're reusing the nest, they usually get bigger and bigger. It's from inside the bald eagle nest. All right. If anyone watching has seen a bald eagle nest in person, please comment and let us know. So there's Alberta again as we go to our next nest. Alberta is a great horned owl who is here. She has been here for a very long time now. And our next nest is going to be, it's right over here. And as I was saying, nests can be built in a lot of different places. We have chickadees living in this nest right now. And I don't know if they have babies or not, but they've been getting really angry at us every time we get close. So some birds can make their nests in man-made things like this bird nest here. Some birds will make them in trees, like a bald eagle nest would normally be in a really tall tree. Ostriches will make their nest on the ground and kind of scratch a nest out. And squirrels even make nests like we saw in trees. And our squirrel nest is actually cool too because it's kind of right above our little pond there, which makes it really safe. Okay. So next, I'm going to take you guys through our little forest area to show you kind of a nest. I also know we have lots and lots of nests in these trees that have some babies in them because we've been finding some eggshells on the ground. So like I said, this nest I'm going to show you isn't really a nest. but this is our beaver lodge that we have. So we created this lodge to show people and kids what it might be like to live as a beaver. So you can see beavers make their, you can call it a nest, out of sticks, just like a bird or a squirrel does. But they do it a lot differently, and they tend to use mud. We didn't use mud, but that's usually what it's made out of, along with all the sticks. You can see inside, it's usually really dark, but beavers will also have two entrances usually to their lodge or nest, so they can easily get in and still be able to escape from predators if some predator does find its way in. All right, I've got a couple more things to show you guys, and feel free to put any comments or questions you have. I see Rick Lori Bryant is watching. Thank you for joining us. And my mom, Carol, is watching. Thank you, Mom. So right here, this is a bat box. Technically, it's not a nest, but it is a place where bats will stay during the day so they can sleep and be safe. So it's kind of like a nest. Trying to see if we can see any nests in the trees. I hear lots of birds. So I've got a couple more nests to show you. One of them is outside and the rest will be inside. See if I can find this one. This one is actually in a tree, and I mean in the tree. I believe it's a starling nest. We'll see if I can, there it is. And I only found this one because some starlings were getting really mad when I got this close last week. So I don't know if you can see, but there's a hole in this tree about right in here. And there are actually some babies in there. We saw them sticking their head out last week. I don't think, oh, I can zoom up. There it is. I didn't know I could zoom up on these lives. So you can see the hole a little better right there. So some animals will actually use holes that are in trees in order to make their nest. And I kind of talked about that in our Facebook Live, our Facebook and social media posts yesterday, that some birds and animals will use holes that other animals have made. So like a woodpecker. All right, now that I zoomed up, I don't know how to zoom back out. There we go. And again, I apologize for the wind. So we have another nest up here. No one's living in it right now. But you can see it's made out of a lot of the same stuff as our nests inside. It's got the clay and a lot of sticks and probably some twine up there. And got a couple more nests to show you. So this is another example of a bird nest. So not all bird nests look like that little cup kind of shape. Some of them look more like a basket. So there are other nests that take up huge areas in trees, where there are maybe 20 to 40 birds living in them. Those are in Africa. And then we also, right next to this little nest here, this is a hornet nest, which looks very different from a bird nest. So hornets and wasps can make their nest, and they'll actually get pieces of mud and kind of chew it up in their mouth and spit it back out and make these like almost spirally rows. If you've ever seen someone or watched someone make a like a coiled basket out of mud, that's kind of the same concept with these nests. Okay, so that's all the nests that I have to show. Does anyone have any questions about nests or about things that people, or not people, things that animals live in? Some other animals also use nests. So like I said, squirrels use nests. The hornets and wasps and bees also have kind of a nest. Another thing that makes nests are actually primates. So chimps and orangutans and several other species make nests that look actually really similar to the bald eagle nest, where they're really, really big. But what they do is they fold over leaves in order to create those nests, so they're a little more cushy. And I know in a past live, I can't remember which one it was now, but we showed a video of an orangutan making its nest. And I apologize again that it's so windy today, so we couldn't really talk while we were out there looking at the nests. But I think my favorite of all the nests that I showed was actually the squirrel nest, or a drey, like I said earlier. There was this squirrel that was out there last week I was watching, and I watched it running up a tree and like running from the branch to branch to get to another trees, and eventually I saw it dive into its nest. And that is the reason I know 100% that is a squirrel nest. And it stayed in there actually the rest of the day. Trying to think if anyone has any questions about nests, feel free to ask. I wish it wasn't so windy. I would have spent more time out there at each of the nests. But a lot of birds and animals will make a nest every year, a new one every year or every time. So with primates, they'll make a new nest about every night, and they'll spend anywhere from like 10 minutes to like 2 or 3 hours making this nest, depending on how cushiony or intricate they want to make it. And but some birds, like I was saying, like eagles, will come back to the same nest every year and just keep adding to it. There are, when we put out like our bird nests, like I was saying, the chickadee was staying in our bird nest, they'll probably come back every year, and we don't empty those out. So if there's stuff already in it, then they'll just keep adding to it and make it softer and better. Yeah, I think that's just about it with all the nests. I know this was a really short live today. I meant it to be a little longer, but the weather didn't really work with me today. So if you guys have any questions about nests or animals that use nests, or if there's anything you guys want to talk about, put it in the comment section now. Oh, turtles and tortoises also have a nest. So sea turtles are probably the most common that people have heard of. They'll go up to the beach and dig a hole and lay a ton of eggs in that nest, and then cover it back up, and the sea turtle goes on its way, and the babies will hatch and then go into the ocean. Tortoises also will dig a den, and it's called a den more than it's called a nest, but it is still a type of nest. So they'll dig a hole in the ground. Tortoises most of the time will do this to get away from predators, but to also be where it's cooler, because tortoises live on land where it's really hot. So they'll dig down, get where it's cool, and that is also where they'll lay their eggs. So we have a tortoise, Dorothy, who is smaller, and she in the wild would live, I think it's somewhere in the Middle East, near mountains. And she would live kind of in a group setting. So it would be her and her mate and maybe some other tortoises around. And they actually live together in their nest or their den. So, does anyone have any questions about nests? I think I'm gonna go ahead and stop now. But if you guys have any questions now, or if you're watching it in the future, leave your comments or questions in the comment section, and I will make sure to get back to you and answer your questions. We do have our Facebook page, which hopefully you're following. We also have Instagram and a YouTube channel, and we post all of our past lives on this YouTube channel. So if you can't watch it on Facebook Live, check us out on YouTube. We also have an event tomorrow, so we are really excited to have this event. The weather should be working with us tomorrow, so we hope to see some of you there. And I think that's everything. So thank you guys for joining me today. Bye.